Alrighty friends, good morning, good morning. We have no breakfast freezer meal, so in life when we don't, I revert to what I know, which is oatmeal and eggs and peanut butter toast. So we're gonna get this pot a-going. We're gonna do a big batch of oatmeal that will take care of many family members for the next couple days. So yay! And with the old-fashioned oats, I just get a pot of water boiling. In this case, I think this is a 6-quart Dutch oven. And then I will add the old-fashioned oats, let them sit for a little bit. We'll put in a little butter. We have our Azure honey. We have some blackstrap molasses. Have some little things I'll swirl around in there. Sometimes I do cinnamon. I have folks who like to have it with applesauce on it. So we'll see. I kind of make a base model oatmeal and then we adapt from there. And just yesterday at John Henry, I got a half bushel, sorry, we got Happy Morning Sounds playing, half a bushel of Golden Delicious and half a bushel of Red Delicious that we'll be working through. And I picked up our whole milk from the creamery, which is kind of my middle of the road option right now. And we have meat that's defrosting in the fridge from the freezer for different adventures. And I had picked up 15 dozen farm eggs from a local farm store. It's called Woods Edge Farm. And I was able to get 15 dozen farm eggs for 60 bucks, which is a phenomenal price because even a dozen grocery store eggs are $3.97 to $4 something a dozen now. And my math on that was just about right around $4 a dozen for farm eggs. And here's our sourdough starter. They're judging us, but you know, adventures could happen. And here's my mom, look, oh, the bag, mom, my little dark chocolate stash for my mental health. Some chickens that we'll use, and then our big log of provolone from Sharp Shopper that we work through. And I'm actually going to start the process to let's get one load of yogurt going, homemade in the Instant Pot. Now, I did this last week, and you know, it had been a while since I made yogurt. I'm just trying to get my little home cooking from scratch things here and there going again as I can. And I really think I need to do 2 gallons at a time, because one load of homemade yogurt, I mean, within 48 hours it was gone. So something my little mama sanity saving exercises I would like to do is let's get this going. Let's see if we can then have another load follow. And I know I make these plans and I share these cooking ideas, and you know what? I might fail. I might only get 1 gallon of yogurt made, but I'm still doing it. Just letting you know my good intentions. I got interrupted yogurt button, and I just put it on for about an hour or so. You can also use the saute setting. You want to get it up to 180 or so degrees. I cannot sit here and babysit it with a saute setting, so I just put it on for an hour and then we'll come back and take the temperature. It sounds like a patient. Anyway, then I usually do something like set it out on a cutting board, let it come back down to temperature, and then I think when it's about 110 or so, at that point we put it back in, and then I let it run for a long time, like 8 or so hours. Oh yeah, and within that, before I put it in for the 8 or so hours, I will put about half a cup or so of Greek yogurt in it and whisk that up to get the good bacteria going in it to make a whole big thing of yogurt. There is yogurt starter that you can get. Good morning, we have Talking Hand. And I have heard that the actual yogurt starter has more of the beneficial bacteria. I haven't actually ever had that though. I just use it from some Greek yogurt at home, and it looks like yogurt, tastes yet like yogurt. I know there's nothing else in it, and it's usually a good Greek yogurt like from Azure, or even Walmart has some good bacteria Greek yogurts that I can get. Okay, raining here. We got a little early morning science documentary going on. Got this oatmeal a-going. I will be going outside with some little folks here. It's not thunderstorming. It's a little shower, okay? And we'll put our ball caps on and they will play, and I will get my steps in and some running time in. Well, happy afternoon lunch. So one of my folks was inspired for grilled cheese, and they got out some hamburger buns we needed to use up and some cheese that was left over from our last camping trip. And there's even some of these that have a little slice of turkey on there, and I cut up an apple for each one. And so this is gonna be a little impromptu pulled together lunch for a few. Well, Mama has a failure here. I totally scalded that milk. I've never done this before. In all my years of making homemade yogurt in the Instant Pot, let me just show you. I am a failure in many things, and I failed at this yogurt today. I don't even know what to do with it. I mean, it's brown. So this is just a loss, okay? This is a loss in the kitchen. I'm going to dump it out. If I still had pigs, I would feed it to them. I don't during this season. So I'm gonna dump it out. I'm gonna lick my wounds. I'm gonna start again with this yogurt. Yeah, it's okay. Things happen. I'm like, oh, I'm sad about this because it's a whole gallon gone, but there's hundreds of gallons of yogurt I have made that I have not failed at. So we'll just go with that. I'm gonna just get a new Instant Pot liner. Try again. I was trying to come back to this yogurt and work with it before I got dinner in the oven this evening. And I haven't run yet, and it's raining. When I'm filming this, the hurricane is coming through our country. This video won't be out for several weeks though. That's how the mafia works around here. But we have a lot of rain happening outside, and I was still hopeful. I guess maybe I'm just walking fast. I don't know. I need to get some kind of movement in for my body once I get dinner in the oven. The rain has been off and on. We are getting the rain. We're not getting the hurricane winds, but my yogurt looks like it's been affected by the hurricane. So, okay, try again. And what got me there, I really just need to read my own recipe. So, trying again. Okay, I did just get milk at the John Henry General Store yesterday. So, I mean, I got 7 gallons. I got 5 gallons left already, and it has been 24 hours. But I just lost a gallon to my yogurt situation, and then my folks drank a gallon today. That's okay, we shall try again. I was explaining to my folks that were excited about yogurt how I burn the milk. They're like, how do you burn milk? But anyway, so on my directions over on largefamilietable.com, I talk about hitting the yogurt button and then just hitting adjust until I get the boil option, and then letting it cook from there. I was flying too much by the seat of my pants this morning, so let's try again, but I'll read my own directions this time. And also with the lid, it makes no difference whether it's on or off. It does not need to be sealed. I'm just setting it there to get it out of the way while I do some dinner stuff. And I have another project I was working on where I was cooking. Remember the other day we cooked the oxtail in the Instant Pot, and I just put it back in the refrigerator when it was done. I'm gonna go ahead and start heating this through again to work through pulling the meat off the bones and such. I hadn't done any of that yet. And then from there, I will dip into it every day and just continue to use it as nourishing broth for myself throughout the day. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna let that start cooking through, and then we'll work with that later this evening too. So I have whatever amount is left here, and we have various craft scissors and pencil. We have all the little things. We also have some little pieces to the operation game on the counter. Anyway, this is a 25-pound bag of potatoes from the John Henry General Store. What's left of it, we'll just see how many of these we can bake up tonight. I have 2 chickens from J&L Green Farm that I set out maybe 2 days ago into the refrigerator. I knew I would be using them at some point coming up. So we're gonna get greased up potatoes and chickens going in my big Dutch oven. And I may, with the extra room, just throw these in a second smaller Dutch oven and let them bake too. And I'm not going to throw carrots or anything else in with those potatoes because we have the last of this corn, probably the last batch from one of the community gardens that I helped with starting last spring. So I'm gonna have some family folks shuck this down, and we will also boil this. So it'll be the farm-raised chickens, the last of those potatoes, and corn for dinner tonight. And hey, look, apples. So my current favorite go-to meal this last month or so is lining the bottom of my big red Dutch oven with potatoes and sometimes carrots and hey, sometimes celery, and then putting 2 farm-raised chickens on top. I also use some olive oil and sprinkle with some seasonings. So I'm pulling those out there. I've got some Redmond salt and some thyme and some onion powder and garlic powder and a little bit of pepper, and we will work on pushing those potatoes down a little bit also to get the lid on. Alrighty, so this is how these chickens are gonna save dinner tonight, and all those potatoes. And then for extra kitchen adventure fun, I forgot to remove my rack that I usually have to remove to get my big Dutch oven in here, so we're gonna do that now while it's hot, because, ooh, yeah, super hot. When it's hot and on wheels, it makes it extra fun. I also have a butternut squash adventure going. So I'm working on filming a butternut squash video for my large family table community. Let's see, let me get this pulled out. We will clean this oven in the winter, not right now. Nice, nice, yay. So now I'm working on getting the pot filled behind me on the stove there. We don't want to forget about that, that's right. And I'm gonna get that water boiling, and I did have some family folks shuck the corn for me earlier. This corn did have some bad spots on the end on most of the cobs there, so I just cut off those little bad spots and rinsed off any extra little stringy threads that were on there. And I'm just getting that prepped and ready, and we're gonna get the whole mixing bowl there full of washed down, ready to use corn. And then once my water is boiling on my stove behind me, we will get the corn a-boiling, and we will have corn with our dinner tonight, and even some corn left for the following day. And with my butternut squash that's on the counter behind me, I also make a video for my membership community doing some lovely fall butternut squash soup, and I make a nice stock pot full of it. Plus we ended up with about 2-gallon bags to freeze, which is something that me and a few more of the ladies in my house, we enjoy defrosting that, warming it back through in the slow cooker, and we just love some fall butternut squash soup. So now that I have my yogurt out on the counter, I almost said out on the cooler, out on the counter there, it's coming back down to 110 degrees, and then we will work with it from there. And I also just drained all my corn. So I like to put the corn in a glass baking dish, and then I set out salt, pepper, and butter. And folks can butter their corn per their desired measure. Oops, well, not oops, yay, the corn is done. So buttered corn is ready. I didn't put the chicken and potatoes on for quite high enough, so I just turned the heat up on that. So corn is the appetizer, chicken and potatoes will follow. And we're just waiting for our future yogurt to get down to 110, and then I will mix in our yogurt starter, and we will go from there. I'll pretty much just let this go in the Instant Pot overnight, and then when we wake up, I will strain it, or like how I did last time, put it in the fridge for the day, strain it again in the evening. Well, learned a lesson there. One of my digital thermometers is just not working. I kept looking at this chicken like, this really looks done, but the internal temperature was only like 97. So finally this like 4th time I've checked it, let me try a different thermometer. And yeah, it's like 209 internal temperature, so we're good. We also have a few little toasted potatoes. Okay. But I think we're good, I think we made it. Just gonna have to let it calm down a little bit there for a few minutes. Well, bright sun is shining. Happy new day. The yogurt finished last night while we were sleeping. Didn't strain it yet. Put that in the refrigerator. Still haven't picked that meat off the oxtail. Threw that slow cooker on low, and I will talk with that this evening. But right now, for this sunshiny day, a break from all the rain, we are heading to Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, which I have not been to since I was a kid. It has been one of my many hopes and dreams to take my folks to Harpers Ferry, and today is the day it's happening, so let's hit the road. Alrighty, so we made it to Harpers Ferry, and we are at the coffee mill, and we have 2 picnic tables we have taken up, and we are making our choices. And this is where we are, Harpers Ferry. We parked, and then they have us take a shuttle. Here's a look at the neat little town. Lots of great history here. And again, I was here a whole lot as a kid, but I finally get to take my folks to it. Alrighty, so I got a double cheeseburger with onions, lettuce, and tomato on it too. Got some chicken tender baskets and some more cheeseburger and fry baskets. So I chopped mine up a lot, so I kind of have a double cheeseburger salad happening. Okay, so here's what sweets for Harpers Ferry. This is what a real little sweet shop would look like. Little things in jars over there. So we're totally amazed by all the locks.
I remember I was sweat. I was like,
Must be a whole thing. We're going across this bridge here. And that's a whole thing out there. Okay, eating our way through Harpers Ferry. Well, friends, as you know, we have many, many humans who are suffering with all of these hurricanes here in Southwest Virginia and Tennessee and North Carolina. That was one hurricane, but now, as of me recording this voiceover, we have another one getting ready to hit Florida. And so it's just nightmare upon nightmare. So what I have done is I am putting links in the description and in the pinned comment of all the local resources that I'm aware of, organizations and groups in my area that are either going down directly, like flying supplies down, or volunteering in those areas or taking truckloads down. Also some more national organizations like Samaritan's Purse and such that have been there. There's Operation Airdrop. There's many organizations that have been there helping, and there's many citizens showing up and helping one another, and it's a beautiful thing. And so I know many of us feel like, what can we do? Who do we give to? What do we send? And so a friend of mine, Heather, has a podcast on creative ways we can give. She's recently been focused on gathering up new sleeping bags to go down to North Carolina. There's another lady in my general area who, it's just it's incredible what she is sharing. And I'm going to link some of her Facebook videos below, but she's not only taking truckloads, but she's hiking in, and you know, she is being the hands and the feet and one of the helpers. And like my friend Heather says, which is a quote from Mr. Rogers as well, that, and I am totally paraphrasing this, right? But in times of trouble, we look for the helpers. So these are people who have been helpers. These are some of the organizations that I have either given to or gotten products to or shared their needs list in some way. Even from my home here, this is just a small way I can help share some of these needs and again, point you in the direction of folks who are helping. And I know that so many of these families could use our help right now. Okay, life with me. I'm like, hey, I got to record this meet real quick. So anyway, we got back from Harper's Ferry. I got a nice hot Epsom salt bath. It has been a nice evening at home, and we need to go to bed now. Church and things are in the morning. I just pulled this oxtail out. Now this is not all the meat just from one oxtail, but there's the bones from the oxtail. This was also a little bit of a roast I made a couple nights ago that I just threw in along with cooking down this oxtail. There's the broth we have from it. I'm going to throw this meat back into it, and then I will just eat this in various ways. I know the other times I've done this, there's another little piece of bone though. I just get like a coffee cup full and yeah, and just eat the broth. My brain is tired now because it's bedtime, and I'm just saying, and that's all I have to say about my oxtail plus leftover beef roast meat. And yay, let's go to bed. Well, good morning. No makeup mama here. I am doing a few bacon grease eggs real quick. Some folks have had oatmeal, some folks have done some peanut butter toast. I want a few eggs, and I have a few other egg requests. So that's what I'm all about here. That's my timer going off saying it's almost time to go, but we are doing it. I do want to bring up some of that bacon that is frozen. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow because my little bacon grease jar, we get good use out of it. I've been ignoring my tallow lately. Let's see, I've probably bacon greased the pan enough here. Well, it's not raining out. Looks like it could at any moment. Just carrying around my best friend Instant Pot liner. Anyway, so we just got back from church. After church, we went through the Little Caesars drive-thru, and I have learned with them to just get what's hot and ready. They had 3 pepperoni pizzas hot and ready. Good enough for me. Got 2 packs of their brownies. Took it to a playground, had our picnic lunch, even though it was overcast, played for a good hour or so. There were some trails and such there that older folks did as well. So now, I'm about to sit with my feet up and watch a movie. We're gonna watch Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, and I haven't seen that in a good long time. Got lots of folks here who haven't seen it. And that's how I'm gonna get my feet up a little bit this afternoon. What I'm gonna do real quick is I'm going to get this yogurt that we did in the Instant Pot. I'm gonna get this strained, and I'm gonna actually get another batch going too, because the other week when I made a gallon of yogurt, I mean, we just go through it so quick, and I'm working on getting more consistent with these kind of things. Clunky road ahead, but look at us, we're doing this. So for straining my yogurt, I just use another Instant Pot liner and then one of these mesh strainers I use for various things. And I don't have a cheesecloth right now, but I just have these light coverings here, linen cloths that I pour the yogurt through to make it work in the meantime. This time I will not forget to just put it on. There you go. Now it says boil on the yogurt setting. Now we'll let it do its thing. Well, we have had an out and about morning. We are back home to do our home things now. And this is the yogurt. I had start the yogurt cycle yesterday, and then I put it in the refrigerator last evening because I had something else I needed to do. I wasn't gonna be here, and I couldn't wait for the temperature to come down and then add the yogurt and then get it going overnight. So before we left, I just put it in the refrigerator like how I do and told it would have to wait till today. The yogurt wasn't gonna boss me around, but we're still getting it done. So, just pulled it from the refrigerator, added in our, let's see, I just put it in the trash can, but the starter yogurt, it was I think it's a Chobani or something of Greek yogurt. I was using it as a starter. I just whisked that in, and now we are going to put it on this yogurt cycle, not the boil cycle though. Keep going. There we go. And now we'll just let it cook and make more yogurt for the rest of the day. Also, now that we're back home, I'm gonna just do quick PB&Js on some hamburger buns and chop up some apples for the folks who need lunch now. Several have already done their own lunch, but that's the lunches that I'm in charge of. And also, we're gonna get a big batch of spaghetti sauce going this afternoon. I think that's what we'll do because we have about 10 pounds or so of that ground beef that we took from the freezer to the fridge to defrost several days ago, and I want to make a big batch of something. We still have a lot of rain here happening, and it's a very busy week. Hello, good afternoon, ice maker. Spaghetti just seems like the winner for several nights' dinner. Yay. So here's our little lunch plates. We have our use it up hamburger bun, PB&Js, some pretzels, an apple, our milk. Same for over here. Need to grab them a cup of milk, and then this little plate here. So that's our simple lunch for a few. So my sink needs washed out, but anyway, these are some peppers these were the last ones from the community garden, and obviously they've been in my refrigerator waiting to fulfill their destiny, so we're gonna get the last of these used up today. And then down in the depths of my pantry, I have these cans, and so, you know, they've been hanging out waiting to serve their purpose. I think many of these I got at Sharp Shopper, super marked down. So we're gonna use up these last two of tomato sauce, and then this is whole tomatoes, and I'll just use the immersion blender on that to make some more sauce too. And we're gonna saute up these onions and the peppers. So it just seems like when I'm in a freezer meal hole, when I don't have a freezer full of freezer meals, that I love to keep a freezer or two full of freezer meals, but we all know real life happens, and there's times that real life happens and I have freezers full of things that are prepped ahead, and that just feeds us for weeks and weeks at a time. And then there's times like now when I would love freezers full of freezer meals, and I just have not had the time, little by little, or even full dedicated days to fill them. But this is, I think we have a pattern here. When I start to try to fill it up, because you know, we just had the use it up freezer and pizza, freezer and pantry challenge. We just had that for weeks and weeks and weeks. I think almost 12 weeks this summer. And so now, yeah, we've got the full cow in the freezer. We've got the chickens in the freezer. But I want to get actual meals done in the freezers too. And it seems to me historically that spaghetti sauce is somewhere that I start first. We'll do spaghetti sauce, eventually we'll do chili, we'll do meatloaves, we'll get started with those, and hey, taco meat, those very simple things that I can do big batch to get several nights of dinners for my family now. And then I can also get several meals in the freezer from those big batches for later. So here we are getting going, prepping our onions and prepping our peppers for a big batch spaghetti sauce, and I'm sauteing those in my 17-inch Lodge cast iron pan. And once we get the spaghetti sauce done, and again, have it for several meals, then we end up getting about 4 or so gallon bags in the freezer. And so for my crew, that'll probably be 2 more spaghetti meals in the future whenever we need it most. That'll be such a blessing to have. And it's these little times now when I can start doing these batches and prepping ahead. You know, in a perfect world, we would never get down on freezer meals, but that's not the point of freezer meals to me. Freezer meals to me save me again and again throughout the decades during all the times when life is too busy. and I can't think. And I need to rely on the work I've already done. So I'm big batch cooking up the 10 pounds of ground beef from the farm for our big batch spaghetti. Other backup items here. I got some more diced tomatoes that we'll throw in there. Got some gluten-free noodles. Doing it all. I also have these miracle noodles and then the heart of palm noodles, which I think these are somehow konjac root. Yeah, and then this is heart of palm, which I've used a lot of. And yeah, this makes me feel like I can have a noodle. Okay, okay. And now I am scooping out my pre-cooked vegetables there and getting those into the pan along with the ground beef. And then we are going to start dumping in our tomato sauce. I did wash off the tops of those cans just because they have been sitting in the pantry and some of those were a little dusty. And I'm fighting with my can opener a bit, but it is working now. So that's always nice. We appreciate that can opener. And if you stay tuned in this video coming up, I'll give you an update on what has happened with the 600 pounds of tomatoes that were in my freezer and why we're not using those currently for this big batch spaghetti sauce. So I just had a helper with my immersion blender and whole tomatoes because, I mean, how can that not be exciting? So we'll finish it up. So just using that immersion blender to whip up that big can, I think it was 110 or 120 ounce can of whole tomatoes there, and add that to our sauce as well. Okay, so I've got some garlic powder, some onion powder, and some Italian seasoning I'm going to drop in here. I'm also doing this random amount of diced tomatoes that I still have more of. So I'm just continuing to work on, I know this will not be a 30-quart batch of spaghetti sauce, but it might be 20. Pretty close there. And we, again, I've got so many family folks who are excited about spaghetti. I'm excited about spaghetti. And that's always nice to have something food-wise to be excited about. I'm going to do great value noodles. I'm going to do gluten-free noodles. I would do gluten-free noodles for everyone, but I don't have that many gluten-free noodles left right now. So doing that, and then we'll also have heart of palm or those konjac noodles available. I need to put some red mint salt and some pepper in here too. And I'm just eyeballing that. So I'm gonna cook up this big pot. Again, we will probably get 4 to 6 meals because I know it will be eaten for lunches and for dinners over the next several days for 10 folks. And then whatever is left sauce-wise, hopefully we get 2 to 3 gallon bags of spaghetti sauce, and that would be nice for all those times I will thank myself that I haven't done in advance. So I'm just gonna keep opening up these little diced tomato cans here, and the can opener is agreeing with us. It decided to get with it. I just had to warm it up a little bit. Okay, tasting pretty good. I did put some nutritional yeast in here a few minutes ago. I'm gonna dump some more in, and it just adds a cheesy flavor and more nutrition. Let's do it. It's gluten-free. I was reading you can use it as a natural thickener and such as well. I know folks that eat it on their popcorn, and I like to mix it in. Mix it in with what I can get away with. Okay, so don't judge my better than nothing spaghetti. This is with the miracle noodles, and this is a huge bowl. So I'm probably going to eat half of this now and the other half for breakfast. I want my brain, though, to think of these as regular noodles. So I need to quit stirring it. I've eaten them many, many times, and again, they are better than nothing. Okay? Okay, we do what we can. Good morning. So, small drop in the bucket efforts this morning, and I know my videos don't hit. Like, the day that I film is not the day that real-time things are happening. So obviously I'm not a news source, but real time that I'm filming this, it's October 2nd, and just so much devastation for those in Southern Virginia and North Carolina and Tennessee. There are no words. Small little drop in the bucket efforts is I put in a Walmart grocery pickup order. We are out with errands and appointments this morning, and we have a local airport, I think it's just called Shenandoah Valley Airport. Anyway, it's in Weirs Cape, Virginia. They are working with another organization. There are pilots that are flying supplies down, and they're just asking for people in the community to bring supplies, and they are flying them down for many days to come. And anyway, that's what we can do. So I'll show you what we got: toothbrushes, toothpaste, maxi pads, diapers. Again, so much is needed. This is a small drop, but it's just something. Alrighty, so a mama making it through. Just, again, I have to eat and I'm on the run. So this is the steak, egg, and cheese biscuit is cheaper than, obviously I order it without the biscuit. So steak, egg, and cheese biscuit without the biscuit, I think it's $4.49 versus steak, egg, and cheese bagel without the bagel is a little more than that, but it's how I'm able to eat and get these things done this morning. And then other folks who are with me got these bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles with a hash brown or sweet tea and orange juice, and now we're gonna go drop off stuff at the airport. So here's the list of needed items. They need the sports drinks, powdered packets, hydration packets, baby wipes, I'm reading this through my camera lens here on my phone, diapers, baby formula, bug spray, sunscreen, plastic utensils, manual can openers, trash bags, 13-gallon or contractor bags, non-perishable foods, cleaning supplies, plastic sheeting and tarps, toothbrushes, toothpaste, toiletries, pet food, hand sanitizer, sanitizer wipes, feminine hygiene products, heavy-duty work gloves, socks of all sizes. Some of these items here in the bottom that say they can't be donated is in reference to these items going on planes, so the chemicals and the fuels and such. I know I have seen folks that are taking fuel by other means, but that's not something that can be donated where I'm dropping things off today. So I know this is such a hodgepodge of things. This is the easiest way I could figure out how to get this done and actually get these items and drop it off. So showing you just for ideas, and I will have links in the description below as far as most current needs that I can find when the videos come out, when this video comes out. These are Beanie Weenies that have a pop top. In here we have a variety of socks. I got baby diapers of all sizes, but I got them in these smaller packs. I was thinking for when they hand them out. So I have size 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. I think I got 2 of each size. Like here's some size 2s. It was convenient for me to pick up the order and already have things in bags as far as getting it into this airport here. Here's size 1. 1 case of dog food, 1 case of cat food, baby wipes in individual containers. I got 4 different types of baby formula, 2 things each. I got 4 of these big 30-gallon trash bags and 4 boxes of 13-gallon trash bags. And again, all of this, I mean, the needs are so great. This is just a super small drop in a bucket. But I mean, it's something. It'll be a drop in somebody's bucket down there. I got 4 of these 8-packs of Jif to go. Whoops. And, okay, well, I'm going to organize things here in a minute when I'm done showing you. Also, these lasagnas in a can are a pop top. 4 of the 48 count boxes of granola bars. And here's some more. I think I got 12 of these lasagna with a pop top. Let's see what else here. I got 4 packs of batteries. I got 6 things total, I believe, of maxi pads. There's 8 Total bleach wipes, Vienna sausages in the cans, and I think we got more baby formula back here. Oh, I don't want to rip my bag, but more baby formula. Just a variety of things to go down and hopefully help us back. So we are back home, and I am making some more noodles to continue to go through that spaghetti sauce we've been using. Alrighty. We still have some gluten-free noodles left that are done, that are being used. So this is just, it's probably, yeah, 3 pounds of great value noodles going for those who would like those. Got our errands done, we got our stuff dropped off at the airport. They shared on their Facebook page they were already flying planes out with supplies. And again, any real-time links, like from when I published this video, I know there's a lot of information going out, so from the time this video publishes, I will try to drop as many links as I can that are relevant in the pinned comment and in the description, and obviously in the comments below. Resources, anything that would be helpful, please share in the comments. I didn't know that there was a Cajun Army helicopter group, but they've been doing a lot. I didn't know that there was a mule organization, but they've been carrying supplies up in the mountains. So anyway, every little drop in the bucket helps. Well, it's also day out at the pumpkin patch. We have a 1,400-pound pumpkin from the state fair that was brought here locally. And we've been playing in the mud, we've been in the corn maze, we've raced ducks, we've got our complimentary pumpkins from the event, and this is what folks are eating now. We have some locally made fudge and some sugar cookies. We have some gluten-free chips. We have a giant whoopie pie and a fire truck for bonus points. And Mama gets a cold bottle of water. I don't know, for foot reference, do we show, there's my foot. There's the 1,400-pound pumpkin. Okay, so Mama's a little tired from all morning at the pumpkin patch, but this local farm store, I was in the other week. Let me turn all the fans down all the time. I was in here the other week because I could get 15 dozen eggs for $60, which is a great price for farm-raised eggs. We apparently have a little owl or something behind us. This is also another local source where I can buy cow, like a whole cow. You can buy a quarter of a cow. They have lamb and other animal cuts available. Okay, so when I was in here, I was just looking to see in their freezers if they had oxtail, because you know I love throwing an oxtail in the slow cooker and using the broth and the meat from that. And so I just thought, I mean, I can't wait for once a year whenever I buy my full cow. So they have 2 oxtail, they called me, that they're holding for me, that I'm gonna pick up to get in my freezer because I will use that in weeks coming up. Got lots of pumpkins and beautiful mums. All right, so here's my little haul from the farm. So I've got, this is a 1.97 pound oxtail, $6.50 a pound, $12.81. This one is a 2.71 pound oxtail, $17.65. So we'll use those in the coming weeks. Also, I got some lamb loin chops. We've never had them. I don't know in the future if I'll get a full lamb, what we will be doing what we will do in reference to other ruminant animals. But anyway, I got some. It's only looks like 1.24 pounds. So there'll just be some little lamb chops that we'll try. Well, good evening, good evening. I feel like there's a lot of mud on this dress because we had a great day at the pumpkin patch. You can see it's now dark outside. Getting dark earlier, all of those seasonal changes around here. Lots of fun at the pumpkin patch. Lots of free bonus mud to go along with it. But look at this Walmart grocery haul. Okay, so the only thing healthy in this grocery haul is gonna be maybe these bananas, maybe not. Lots of questionable things going on here. What in the world? So this is called Mom is going out of town on a business trip for 3 days and I ain't got no freezer meals. I got nothing in those freezers except for that full cow that we've been eating down and those chickens that are quickly disappearing. No Mama's going out of town meal prep took place this week, although I don't understand this. Tell me, how does this work? On my calendar and on my planner, I had 2 days this week. It's now Thursday evening. I had 2 days that was written in that I was gonna do a bunch of meal prep, bunch of freezer meals. Didn't happen. So thankful for Walmart grocery pickup because Walmart did my freezer meals for my trip out of town this weekend. Folks are gonna be happy with this. There's gonna be no Mama putting chickens in a pot this weekend, okay? We've got a pizza night. This is one night of pizza, 6 great value pizzas. We have some breakfast options for, I mean, it's only 2 mornings, but you know, this will not be all gone. I'm like, wait a minute, they replaced, I didn't order the mini pancakes. I just ordered regular old chocolate pancakes for them to do in the toasters like we did when we were camping. But now they got mini pancakes, so there you go. We got some toaster, well, no, not toaster. We got cinnamon French toast sticks, some toaster waffles, choices for 10 people. Well, I guess 9 people for this weekend's breakfast. Then I went heavy on the dinners. I guess I'm gonna be gone. It'll be 3 nights. So 1, 2, 3. But I also threw in some hot dogs and fries. You know what I bet I did? I just meal prepped. I meal prepped for Monday. So I have 4 dinners here. 1 for each night that I'm gone, because I'll be getting back late Sunday. They will have had dinner. Monday will be a recovery day, and so I meal prep for Monday. Yay. Also got some cheese slices per request. Got some big cheese logs. Mama ain't slicing no cheese before I go. Got some applesauce just because. Also, we have had a lot of green tea drinkers. So it was requested that I got some more green tea. So I got this. Some more syrup for our syrup stash. 'Tis the season. All the forks and so everything. It's all gone. Service for 8. Worth a shot. You know, we'll see how long it lasts. Also, great value milk to the rescue. Chocolate milk and regular old white milk. I did not this week get my creamery milk order called into the John Henry General Store. So Walmart always saves my day. Okay, so there you go. We got 8 gallons. These won't be here when I get back. These are going in the fridge and will get used and loved after the chocolate milk. This is kids 3 days while Mama is gone, but don't worry, I'll cook them some farm-raised chicken and some grass-fed beef, a whole bunch next week when I get home. Yay. Well, friends, I wanted to come before you and share about failures. Let's have some more. And yeah, so I've had a big failure, obviously, especially with the other topics in this video. This failure about me failing with the 600 pounds of tomatoes is a small speck in the universe, and it does not matter in the course of a lifetime. It will matter, though, to my longtime viewers who I share different little stories with, and you get invested, and this didn't work out like how I wanted it to. So it doesn't matter in the course of a lifetime. It does matter to my viewers who are invested and wanted to see what I did with those tomatoes, okay? So I had 200 pounds of tomatoes that I had saved from my 2023 garden. You know, when all of life broke apart, I didn't know what to do about anything, let alone my garden produce that was coming in. And so I just went to the garden, I cried in the garden, and I just hauled in buckets of green tomatoes and put them on a camping table and let them turn red, and I got them in the freezer. And my hopes and dreams is one day that I would can those. I had, I believe, you know, timelines, things get fuzzy. I believe the year before, was it 2022? I stashed a lot of tomatoes I grew in the freezer. I also stashed a bunch of John Henry tomato deals. At some point, Becky from Acre Homestead and her mom, even they came and visited me at one point, and Becky's mom told me I could freeze tomatoes, and that's what got me started freezing them a few years ago. And I did a big canning tomato video here on YouTube where we canned those 380 pounds of tomatoes. I believe that was in March 2023. So I had high hopes as I've been wading back into getting more big batch cooking done, into doing more canning and those things that I do truly love. I had high hopes, excuse me, that we were going to can those 600 pounds of tomatoes. And so the 600 pounds of tomatoes for this year. So I had 200 pounds in the freezers, and you know that this summer at the John Henry General Store, they had the 25-pound boxes for $9.99, and then they let me get the deal. They had these tomatoes that were basically rotting, and they were just looking for a way to get rid of them. And I think, what did we buy? 10 or 11 more boxes for $10, because the rest were just, you know, they couldn't sell them, couldn't do anything else, unless they had a wild mom like me happen to be there and would think 200 pounds or 250 pounds of near gone tomatoes is like the best thing ever, which of course I did. I took the deal, I did the thing. You were excited, I was excited. I put hours into washing those tomatoes and getting them in the freezers. And during that time, we were also doing the fly by the seat of my pants 2024 Use It Up Freezer and Pantry Challenge. It just seemed like I had a lot of things in my freezers that I wanted to get used up, and we would start fresh, you know, with buying the whole new cow and all of that. So inspiration struck this summer, and I felt like we were having a good summer. I was getting good work things done. I felt like I could do a freezer and pantry challenge, and I hadn't felt like I could do one in a really long time. And I definitely had not felt like I could take that undertaking, you know, to show you all my freezers and to work through using up a lot and cooking through it and making meals. So we have accomplished some things, even though I fail at a great many things. We did the freezer and pantry challenge. We did clean out many of the freezers and use up a lot of odds and ends. We did take components from the freezers and make freezer meals this summer during that challenge, and my family and I, we've already used those. They're gone. And we picked up that whole full cow, and we picked up the chickens, and I have started doing simple things, like some weeks I'm able to get a creamery order for 7 gallons of milk in, and I pick that up locally. I do have another local farm source that I shared with you in this video that I'm so thrilled I can get 15 dozen eggs for $60, and they're farm raised eggs. It's just feels like a nice little something I can do most weeks, most times. I paced myself for several weeks with those tomatoes. Another thing we did get accomplished is we did make homemade beef broth, and I canned it. And yeah, we had some cloudy broth, but we also had some beautiful broth. And I'm proud of us, as I like to say. I'm proud of myself for doing those things. Those kind of activities are nice and normal and help me connect to who I really am. And they're nice little benchmarks in time for me. So with the tomatoes, I kept having time on my calendar, and I thought these were a block of days we would do that. I even had a friend of mine at one point, she was gonna come help me for like 2 or 3 days. And things just kept coming up, hello real life. And so I would just keep moving the date. And finally I saw this window of time where I'm like, okay, I can go ahead and start getting the tomatoes cooking, we'll say like on this Sunday. And I showed this, I believe in like maybe my last 2 large Philly meals of the week type videos. I showed like getting the tomatoes going and getting them to start to cook down. Then I had a pretty big life event. It just kind of knocked me for a loop. I mean, I still feel like I'm reeling from it. At that time, it took me like a good week or 2 dealing with the reality of that. Again, you're listening to a traumatized woman in the depths of despair in some ways, walking through a whole lot of healing. And I know I haven't read the scroll to you all of all the things I'm walking through and dealing with, but some weeks are harder than others. And sometimes things come up and I'm like, I didn't know that was on my 2024 bingo card. But look, here it is. All that to say, I thought I could do those tomatoes. I got them cooking in the 3 roaster ovens. And then we had a camping trip coming up, which is a super wonderful thing that I feel like I'm getting accomplished for me and my kids. That we're doing the thing, right? I know it's emotions and it's tomatoes, but it all has a lot of meaning for me. So I told some of my family members, you know, I'm not going to be able to get these tomatoes that I've had cooking down. I'm not going to go through the process of being able to get them made into sauce and can them before we go on this trip, so we'll put them in the downstairs refrigerators. So anyway, we did that. The next week, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get them cooking again. I couldn't get them made into sauce. And that whole next week, I just had to focus on myself, my own healing. And if you're a mom who has been through really hard, deep stuff, you know that when I focus on myself, I focus on my family and my folks and what they need. And then before I can work or do any cooking projects, which is part of my work, or do anything else, I've learned over the past 13 months or so that I have to check in with myself, and I can't just push everything down and put a smile on and get a video filmed and function. So anyway, that next week I had a lot I was still dealing with and processing, and I did not get to the tomatoes, and then it was the next week and I was like, okay, those tomatoes have been in the refrigerators a long time now. So at some point I just said, just take those tomatoes and we're just gonna have to dump them in the woods. And that's that. So that's what happened to the tomatoes. I thought I could do it. I thought I could tackle those 600 pounds of tomatoes, and I was excited. It was gonna be a fun video. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't pull it off. So with that, I wanted to run down the things that we have pulled off, which I think I did that earlier in my little tomato talk here. And if you can get anything from watching me fumble around. So we win some, we lose some. I failed at the tomatoes. We do have a checklist of some other things we have gotten done. I am trying to be as easy and gentle and merciful on myself as I can be. So anyway, just wanted to share with you that I dropped the ball, or 3 roaster ovens full of tomatoes, and I had too much going on in real life and emotionally to take the days that were needed to just focus on getting that project done. I had to instead choose getting other things done, really focusing on my own mental health and healing during those weeks that followed. And it coincided with the tomato project. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could have taken the roasters full of tomatoes and froze those in gallon bags and put that in a freezer. taking them out later. I don't know. Those no problem solving skills were happening. I just know when I get big food projects going, there are times, like even in this video, I think I was working on yogurt and I couldn't strain it one night, so I put it in the refrigerator and I got to it the next day. And most of the time, 97% of the time, that's how it works out. But these tomatoes, it's been a long awaited video, and I know we really don't care. You can't. I hope you know what I'm saying when I say that. Like, I care. Obviously, I'm saying a lot about these tomatoes. I've even written a couple pages of like sad poetry in my journal about these tomatoes. And I know that who've been with me for so many years following my different projects, I know you care. But in the course of a lifetime, it is just tomatoes. We will keep trucking along. I am hoping to focus more on a fill it up type freezer challenge, where just like we did the spaghetti sauce in this video, I want to just start cooking through the basics and getting those basic family staple meals in the freezers, and then start going from there to get some easy breezy lemon squeezy meals in the freezer ready to go. Also in this video, the most important topic that I know that you all are well aware of by now is the families affected by the hurricane. And then as I am recording this, the hurricane's getting ready to hit Florida. So prayers for all of those who have been affected and are in the path. I know locally we have a lot of volunteers and organizations in my part of Virginia that are going directly down to North Carolina, Southern Virginia, and Tennessee. There are people from all over this country who are giving and doing their part. And I know locally a big thing that they're collecting is sleeping bags, because temperatures are getting ready to start changing quite a bit there in North Carolina and such. So I'm going to drop all the links that I have currently about organizations that are looking for donations, are looking for physical volunteers that have different needs that need to be met. Everything I can scour around and find for you that's up to date, I will put again in the description of this video and in this pinned comment. These videos where I share odds and ends that I'm projecting on through the week and food that I'm feeding my family, I can get these done. I can do these right now. I do hope to get in some big cooking, some big dedicated cooking days. I'm doing what I can, and I have times where, as the slogan says, the struggle is real. And so I'm just in a struggle season. I don't get out of the struggle season too often, but there are glimmers, there are glimpses, there are moments, there are days, sometimes there's even like a full weeks. That's really amazing. So I just thank you for being here and for watching and for your kind words and encouragement. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you real soon with another brand new video. Bye bye.